50 years ago, breezing up. A fresh wind from the north, white-capped waves roaring and rushing to the shore. The blues, the greens, the whites and grays of billowing clouds and gulls gliding over the beach. The classic look and feel of a Lake Michigan summer day. The deep blue shadows of the clouds move over the shimmering surface, ever changing, ever moving, silently southward, swiftly southward. 50 years ago, I walked into this log cabin as an almost 9-year-old boy. It was unfinished at that point. No water, no power, no front or back porch, no railing on the loft or on the stairs up to it. It was the first week of July, 1965. The first day of July, maybe. I just remember pulling up to it in a 1964 silver Pontiac Safari station wagon, and Mom saying they had promised it would be done by the 1st of July, and the kids and I are moving in, and they can just work around us. That was that. And that's how it was. We got our drinking water from a hand pump up the road behind the Mines family cabin about a quarter-mile north in the woods. And we got our toilet flushing water by the pailful from the lake itself. Lanterns were the lights at night, and when weather and winds permitted, meals were cooked outside on a campfire. One of the first pieces of business, as I recall, was to get a big propane tank out there. A second-hand gas stove and an old Norge gas refrigerator were purchased from the Competence in town, who ran a second-hand store on Waukezu Street called Treasures and Trash. Some of the furnishing and dishes and pots and pans came from Treasures and Trash as well. That was the way it was with most of the other 5 cabins along the shore that summer and other cabins that followed. Second-hand, used, quaint and cozy were the interiors of the cabins, and some never changed. Some always kept their hand pumps and never had running water or power in their cabins, only propane or maybe a little fuel oil stove. Some up here never built cabins and just set up camp each summer for the 2 or 3 weeks they were here. It was the middle of the 60s, 1965, smack dab in the middle. And a middle-class working man could afford a cabin on a lake with hand-me-down appliances. And the kids could have a summer up north in a cabin on a lake with Mom while Dad worked away the weekdays and pulled in the driveway to the cabin after his Friday night drive north. It was 1965 and Beatlemania was sweeping the nation, among the young at least. The music-filled British invasion was underway as civil rights and the Vietnam War filled the news programs. But up here in the evenings that first summer, it was Mom reading the local newspaper to us kids after a day of swimming and hiking, running through the dunes, climbing trees, finding new secret places, or exploring the abandoned house and barn a mile up the gravel road and out on the 2-lane blacktop that led to town. It was her reading from the newspaper she bought on go-to-town Saturdays, or us kids reading comic books and playing board games in the evenings and on rainy days. Once the power got put in, a radio was added to the entertainment that could capture the only 2 or 3 stations that could be captured out there. No television. Mom made that off limits. Forbidden. At least for the first few summers, after which a small black and white portable invaded the cabin that could pull in 2 stations with snowy reception, and sometimes one from across the big lake in another state, another time zone. And back in those days, this place seemed to be in another time zone, a time zone all its own. when we may be the only souls on this bay 9 miles from the nearest town for weeks at a time, and sometimes seeing no one until Dad pulled in the driveway around 11 o'clock on Friday nights. And all these stories have been told before. I'm just reaching back 50 years as a hammer bangs away at the new place next door. My daily morning dip in the lake done, and it was a quick one. The winds that blew in from the north all day yesterday brought the chilly water of the north as well. But the skies the last 2 nights were just perfect for stargazing. No moon, no clouds. My son Frank and I lying on our backs out in the dunes on the edge of the forest with billions of stars up above us, and the streaking meteors of the Perseid showers silently aglow, swiftly moving, fading out. We were out there in the dunes until 3:30 in the morning, lying on beach towels under the stars, a mound of sand formed under one end to serve as a pillow, looking straight into the universe, the Big Dipper low and to the left, the Milky Way straight above and stretching from horizon to horizon, layer upon layer, beyond the beyond. And where it all stops, nobody knows.